Welcome to Inspire Vista. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Our favorite holding period is forever. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. The best thing I did was choose the right heroes. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. It is not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. I try to buy stock in businesses that are so wonderful that an idiot can run them. Because sooner or later, one will. Predicting rain doesn't count, building arcs does. The goal of a non-professional should not be to pick winners, neither he nor his helpers can do that, but should write. The stock market is a no-called strike game. You don't have to swing at everything, you can wait for your pitch. I never have the faintest idea what the stock market is going to do in the next 6 months, or the next year, or the next 2. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours and you'll drift in that direction. Investors making purchases in an overheated market need to recognize that it may often take an extended period for the value of even an outstanding company to catch up with the price they paid. The market, like the Lord, helps those who help themselves. But unlike the Lord, the market does not forgive those who know not what they do. You only have to do a very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. The business schools reward difficult, complex behavior more than simple behavior, but simple behavior is more effective. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack in will. You do things when the opportunities come along. I've had periods in my life when I've had a bundle of ideas come along, and I've had long dry spells. If I get an idea next week, I'll do something. If not, I won't do a damn thing. We enjoy the process far more than the proceeds. It's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. If a business does well, the stock eventually follows. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. Investing is not a game where the guy with the 160 IQ beats the guy with 130 IQ. Risk is a part of God's game, alike for men and nations. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. You only find out who is swimming naked when the tide goes out. I buy expensive suits. They just look cheap on me. When you combine ignorance and leverage, you get some pretty interesting results. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. It's not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. The big question about how people behave is whether they've got an inner scorecard or an outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. What the wise do in the beginning, fools do in the end. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Thank you for watching.